here somewhere. It has to be. I found it. Oh, Captain. Captain, I found it, Captain.
We have done it. Good sir. At last.
We found it.
We found it. We found the booty. And it's all mine.
Oh, not again.
Ahoy mateys, welcome back to Stacks Gaming. Today we present to you the Plunder Patroll deck. But before we get into it, please do subscribe, like, and comment. Tell us everything you want us to show you. Which decks do you want to see? Combo videos? Anything. Box openings, let us know, we'll do it. Now please stick around after the deck list because I will be showing you better options and more budget options. And options I believe you need to stay relevant with this meta game right now. So with all that out of the way, let's move on to the deck list. First off, you need to run all the Plunder Patrol monsters you can. We only have 4 different kinds right now, so you must run them all. So of course we have 3 Whitebeard. This guy lets you tag out. I pretty much call this deck Gladiator Beast at the Sea, because pretty much what they do is tag out for bigger and better monsters. This is your main guy. He will tag out and special summon one once he hits the grave. Though when he special summons a monster, he becomes equipped instead. But once he gets sent to the grave from a monster zone, he will special summon one from the deck. Of course, you have 3 Redbeard. He pretty much does the exact same thing as Whitebeard, except without the added effect of special summoning one if he gets sent from the field to the grave. Or the monster zone, sorry. Instead, if he gets sent to the graveyard, he gets equipped into a monster. You have your 3 Golden Hair. She can be special summoned from the hand or from the grave. And of course, your 3 Bluebeard, which he can be special summoned from the hand, so he's an extender right there for the most part. And if he's sent from the hand or the monster zone to the grave, you can discard a card to draw a new one. Now with all the Plunder Patrol monsters out of the way, let's move on to other monsters. You need some form of extender, whether it's a Parallel Xyz, a Tin Goldfish, anything. You need some sort of extender, so I run Silent Angler. I'm sure everyone has seen this before. He's just my preferred monster of choice, but it's honestly a preference right there at this point. But you need an extender. For hand traps, of course you have your 3 Ash, and I run 2 Veiler. You're not going to compete in turn 1, you might compete in turn 2, but honestly you want to get to turn 3 because that's when this deck takes off. If it gets more support it'd be great, but this is what we have right now, and this deck can do stuff. It doesn't mean it's dead right out of the water. Now if Ash has become too expensive because some people are budget players and have small budgets, I understand. There's always cards like Ghost Ogre that is still relevant, it can still do things. I even main them in my Madolcha deck. I'll link that up here so you can check that out. It's a really good fun deck, go check that out as well after this. But that being said, let's move on to the spells and traps. Of course I run 3 of the field spell, and of course 1 terraforming. I even actually run a Mystic Mine in here to try to slow down the opponent. If you don't know what this card does, is if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. But if you control more monsters than they do, pretty much you can activate monster effects and declare an attack. And once per turn during the end phase, if both players control the same amount of monsters, destroy this card. So you want to play this pretty much to slow them down, because this card, if it's in the grave, it's easily accessible because it could come back from the grave and just come back set and knock this out. So you know, you want to go off after you're done slowing them down, then activate it and then you're good. It's an interesting card choice, I know, but it works out. I run 2 Plunder Patrol Shipping. That is to fusion summon your monster, and it could also do stuff in the grave. I only run 2. It's just that this one and the emblem of Plunder Patrol, which we'll see here, is pretty much preference. Some people run this one at 3, this one at 2. I run this one at 3, this one at 2. It's just the style of how you play. I like this one because this will let you special summon Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck, depending on what kind of monster it is on the field. It's pretty much all the other ones tag out depending on what kind of monster your opponent has on their side of the field or in the grave. But this one you could go off with the whole field or your own grave, and sometimes you really need that. Like when you play against Earth type decks, you get really screwed. There's no Earth Plunder Patrol, at least not yet. I do run 3 Pot of Desires. You need to speed this deck up as much as you can, because like I said, it is a slower deck. And sometimes you're just going to have to take the chance and banish the top 10, and draw your 2 cards. And of course I run 2 salvage to bring back your water monsters from your grave to your hand. Now let's move on to traps. Of course you gotta run your 3 Plunder Patrol booty. Sometimes you could only run 1 or 2, but this is what's gonna bail you out for bad matchups against like wind or earth, or if you just need a specific attribute. This is what will change it and special summon the monsters you need. I do also run 2 Solemn Strike. And yes, I know Infinite Impermanence is the ideal trap choice, but for this kind of somewhat widget deck, but not so widget deck, this is just what's been working for me. I could run 3 Infinite Impermanence. I highly recommend you do. I recommend you run 3 of them, to be honest, but this is just the way I'm running it so far right now. Now before we go to the extra deck, I do want to explain, to me, I can't stress this enough, I would love to main 3 Dark Ruler No Mores in this deck. It's something I highly recommend for the slower decks. I know there's triple tactical talents, there's Forbidden Droplet, but no, I think you need Dark Rulers No More. I don't care if I can't do any damage that turn, as long as I can play this and my plays don't get stopped. Right now it's a very monster effect heavy meta with all the BORRELOADs, Appaloosas, stuff that could stop your monsters, so might as well stop their monsters. Like I've said in my previous videos, I don't care if I don't do damage that turn, as long as I can bring out my monsters and their effects go off, and I could board wipe them somehow. Which you can in this deck with your cards like Moark, and these cards do get beefy. The field spell does give 500 for every Plunder Patrol spell and trap you have on your spawn trap zone, so they get pretty big. Trust me, I'll show you some games right after this. But I just highly recommend 3 Dark Ruler No More in any deck, even in budget decks. Like the next deck review I'm gonna do will be Nordics, and I really recommend having 3 of these, or else that deck won't do much. But if it's just for fun, then you know, have at it. Now on to the extra deck. I'm gonna start off with the boats and the captain. We got the 2 Plunder Patrol captain, 2 of the fusion, 2 of the synchro, and 2 of the Xyz. This deck is really reminiscent of the Wildulcha deck, which pretty much you want to run just all of their archetype extra deck monsters, and then the rest is just filler however you want. But of course you need him. He will give you some draw power and help some of your monsters escape when they're about to get blown up and tag out for something else. You want this one so you could discard to stop their monster effects. Then you could pop spells and traps and then banish monsters while also searching. All of these cards also have the added benefit of searching for other spells or traps or other Plunder Patrol monsters after they've activated their effects. All of them do just cost discarding a card though. Some of them discard any Plunder Patrol card, some of them discard just Plunder Patrol monsters, but they make up for it with the searches and the added benefits. On top of that, they have other effects, like this one gives all other monsters 500 attack as well. This one has an added effect as well. If you hard summon it and you have some materials, if a Plunder Patrol monster would be destroyed by battle or by effect, you could just attach one and it'll save it. As for the other monsters, for the Lynx, I run the Salamangreat because this is a good combo starter with your Golden Hair. You summon her, Link summon this, and then she can still be brought out from the grave. I run 1 Nightmare Phoenix just for back row. I do run the Totally Awesome package, so I run that one with the Bottomless Shark. I know this one could be out of budget as well, as it's gone up to like 20 bucks for this package pretty much. And you can replace it with other cards. There's the other Nightmares, the Nightmare Unicorn, other stuff. But since this is a water-based deck, of course I have to recommend this package right here. You also have Abyss Dweller to shut down the graves. And oddly enough, it actually helps out by giving 500 attack to water monsters in the field. And for the last 2 monsters, I run the Adamantipator Dragite and the White Aura Whale. This is a good surprise. I can't believe how much Yu-Gi has changed in all these years, where this card is not as broken as you would think, even though that card could blow up all your opponent's attack position monsters, attack twice, deal piercing, and if it were to be destroyed, it could just come back and it even becomes a tuner. So it's just insane how Yu-Gi-Oh has changed nowadays. With all that out of the way though, I do, like I said, I highly recommend somehow squeezing in 3 of these, especially in this type of deck. I had done it before in a previous build, and it worked out so great, but this is the build I have right now. Same with Infinite Impermanence. I highly suggest it, but if you just can't, because I know this card is like $40, then Effect builders will do really well right now, especially with the fact that we don't have a Called from the Graves anymore. It's down to 1, so they can't really stop your invaders as much as they used to before. Or of course, you know, just some solemn strikes. Either one will do. There's also the Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit. I would say Droll Unlock, but that one's actually already gone up as well. There's just lots of options, guys, so don't feel bad for not being able to get this card. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets ridiculous expensive sometimes. But that's the deck list, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have some games playing afterwards. I also hope you guys have been liking our little parody intro videos we've been doing. We will be doing these every single time. And if you like this one, trust me, the next one is going to be hilarious. Badger will be doing a deck review on dinosaurs, so you do not want to miss that, especially the intro. It's pretty damn funny. But with all that being said, I'll catch you guys next time on Stacks Gaming.